reports. So those are basic things you need to remember, definitely. So yeah, usually in ECC or S4HANA, your configuration remains the same. Okay. For process, discrete or repetitive, your configuration is same. You need to configure the system and test and give it to the business. So what is SAP? What do you do? What is your role? Okay. So first question from here, I think if you have any questions, please, you can stop and we can discuss. So we just discussed till now what is SAP and what are the different modules, but what is your role? So your role is to understand the business, understand the production and the quality process, and configure the system. You need to make the system such a way that it will be user friendly and the production team, from the organization can easily use that. Okay. So what is your role? First, there will be a project phase. We will be discussing that later. So let's say uh, you're working for XYZ organization and you got SAP project to be implemented for, let's say, a Maruti company, okay, Maruti car manufacturer. So you are the PP consultant. So your first step is to know what is the business scenario, right? So you need to understand what is the business, what they are doing, what is the production that they are, you know, um, doing, right? So in this analysis, you need to understand and decide which industry type it is. Is it a discrete one? Is it a process or is it a repetitive? You need to understand, and you will be having multiple discussions with the business for the, you know, yeah, you call it as business blueprint. We have multiple things. Once we proceed further, we will discuss. So we will discuss, we will document that, and we will start preparing the system. So that is called the configuration, right? What is a master data? So master data is nothing but, let's say, to manufacture a Maruti car, you need some parts, right? So those are called um, master data. Master data, a material master is a master data, a vendor is a master data, bill of material is a master data. So there are certain master data where, production team has its own master data, material management team has to create their own master data. So once you prepare the system, you need to create some master data. They'll help you because you don't know what parts require, right? So you'll have a discussion, you will talk to them, you'll get some details, you'll get the data from them, then you will upload that to the system. So that is the master data. And transactional data is in the production system. You will not have any authorization to do anything. You cannot create an order, you know, in production system I'm talking about. So it is only a business activity. You can only do whatever testing you want in the test system. So we need to very thorough about all these things. Okay. So in some organizations, you don't get a chance to work on uh, implementation projects. You will be placed as a consultant, but your role will be specified that you need to work only on the, discussions with the business document. Or in some organizations, they'll include you, or your role is confined only to the consultant level. So there are multiple things, multiple positions, multiple roles and responsibilities, even for a consultant. Okay. So first, we will have, let me open an Excel sheet. We'll keep this Excel. Um,
Actually, the role also depends on the type of project. It can be an implementation project or a
Right,
rollout project or a production support sort of a setup or
right.
um, upgrade. Currently, upgrades are also there, migration projects. So
Correct.
it all depends on that.
It all depends on different organizations, right? One organization you will be, you know, there from right start to end, and then also support. You know, if you are in a the project, it's all depends on the type, the how big the project is. If it is massive project, then you'll only be specified to one part. It's all, depends on the project. You depend on the size of the project. If it is very small, you'll only be one working from start to end. If it is massive, then you'll definitely have
Multiple people.
multiple PP consultants working in one project. One will do the configuration, one will do the master data, one will take care of the, documentation, one will take care of the unit testing, one will
Mm.
take care, so there are different roles. So
Yeah.
exactly coming to, the systems, we have multiple systems. Okay. So as I told you, let me just open, just give me a minute. Let me create one folder for you. Okay. So we will use this, basically. Let me share my screen back. Okay. Hope you're seeing my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So SAP PP QM. Okay. So what we do? Okay, we will have uh, a life cycle of a project. Okay, right from start to end. What different projects we have? Okay, we have implementing. Okay, implementation. We have a rollout. We have support. So what is an implementation project? So implementation project is nothing but there is an organization where they're not using an SAP, and you have to give them a SAP system, configure the system, test it, and give it to them. They'll use it. So that is called an implementation project. So in this implementation project, either, you will have, if there are many ERP tools. Okay, it's not in the market. There is only SAP. We have Oracle. We have multiple uh, uh,
ERP.
yeah, ERP tools. So one can migrate from SAP to Oracle, or one from Oracle to SAP. So those are called legacy systems. Whatever they use, those are legacy systems. Some projects you need to, you know, um, understand what is the business. Then you need to do the implementation. You have a
Yeah.
rollout.
Here
Mhm.
are one the question. Like in
Yes.
implementation, we have two types. Which I remember, like brown and
Green,
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 something like
yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
Green,
So
green field and brown field.
what
Yes.
is that then?
Yes. So yeah, we'll come to that. So greenfield is nothing but a complete, new implementation. Where you don't have any link with any of the legacy.
They don't use any digitization. You can say
Right.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we have green field, we have brown field, we have blue field. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so green field is nothing but just complete, uh, clean slate. You don't have anything. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah. So as I said to you, right, there are many different yeah. So brownfield, you're already in SAP, and some of old version, and you are going to upgrade it. Okay. So there are different things. Yeah. So those are called um, implementation projects. Rollouts. Now let's say there is a plant in Mumbai. Okay. Or anywhere. So let's take a plant in Mumbai, and they want to have one more plant created, which is in Chennai. Okay. So we will just copy and paste. We copy the configuration, we use the same template, we create a new plant, we'll, copy the configuration and test and give the system to the client. So rollout is nothing but one template and creating it to the other plants. So that is the rollout. What is the support? So once you're done with an implementation, the business are going to start the business is going to start using the SAP system. They'll get many questions, right? See, at the time of listening or doing some initial testings, there might not be all issues addressed. There will be definitely a lot and lot of issues um, the business will face. And as a consultant, when we are in support project, we need to help them. We need to help them to carry out the transaction successfully. So we are not going to do anything. We will not have any discussions on business blueprint or anything. We just support them to carry out their business uh, transactions. So those are support projects. So we have three different project types, and if you are placed in an implementation project, so you will configure the system as per the business needs. If you're in a railroad project, you need to study the system, how the system is, prepare a template, and extend it to the new plant. If you're in a support project, you will help the business to carry out the transactions whenever they need the support, right? So what are the different phases in the SAP project? Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Kiran. I just want to join my boss call. I will join tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it is very immediate. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay. So, um, yeah. So, which project are you working? You said, is it
The current client, it's a process industry. So I
Mhm.
am new to that also. I have been working with discrete industry only. The
Mhm.
repetitive also very few experience I have. Mostly it was discrete only.
Okay.
Now it is process industry. So I don't know much about it because master recipe, etc. is there. So it's
Right.
quite different from routing. So if you could give some insights about process industry, it would be helpful.
Yes, definitely. So
Okay.
nothing to worry. It's the same, except there are some transactional difference, but end to end, what you'll do is create an order, do the goods issue, confirmations, goods receipt.
No, master recipe is actually very complex, right? Like it has sub operations and many
Yes,
things.
yes,
I don't
yes.
remember, but yeah, I need to brush up that also. Actually, the project is going to start from next month. Next month, but we are asked to upskill to transportation management because this nowadays, if you see the trend, production company, this manufacturing companies, what they do is they use MES, right?
Right.
So MES does the manufacturing part. We just need to track it in SAP, and
Right.
our job is actually getting shrinked basically. So that's why the project is asking me to upskill to transportation management also, so that they have, and this is a production support project basically. So many tickets related to transportation management will be there, but you should have the core knowledge about PP, QM, PM, WM, etc. to excel in that also. So that's why they have asked us to upskill ourselves.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, great. Good.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it will be always good to have multiple, uh, skills. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just discuss about the implementation projects. Okay. So what you do in an implementation project, as I told you, you need to discuss with the business and get ready. I mean, get the system ready, right? So let me show you one thing. Yeah. Okay. So this is the client, right? So this plays a major role in an implementation project, or so any project will have a system landscape. Okay. So first we need to know what is the system landscape. Okay. So what is this? I'll just first write it down. Development, quality, and
Production.
Okay. So these are called, environments or box or systems. So someone will say, okay, create something in the development environment. Or someone will say, okay, create test data in development box. Or someone will say, create something in development system. So development, quality, and production. Always production will only be one system or one client. So here we see the client number, right? So we'll only have always one number. It can be anything, ABC 100. Usually it will be a number, 100, anything. So,
Organization specific.
or
Yeah.
yes, it
Yeah.
depends on organization. So this is in development, we will have two systems. One is,
Client will be different.
yes, configuration or golden client. And next is testing client. Okay. So it will be, the clients will be created, with some number. If this is
100.
100, 101, 201, 301, something like that. Okay. So this is 001, this is 101, 201, anything, they can keep it anything. That's not a big deal. Yeah. So configuration or golden client is the place where we, do the configuration.
Yeah.
And only configuration. Okay. So as I told you, we have three set of data. Okay.
Correct.
One is the config or configuration usually, and next is master data, and then the transactional data. So do remember that in the configuration or golden client, whatever you call, we only need to do the configuration. You should not create any master data or any transactional data in the configuration system. It's purely for the configuration. I'll tell you in the coming classes what we do, the configuration. This is the base to create the system. Like if you if you make any mistake here, then the project is done. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is very important. Configuration steps are very important. Okay. So once you do the configuration, you need to transfer this from this client
To this client.
to testing client within the development system. Okay. So why do you need to transfer here? So you did a configuration, you need to see whether this is working fine or not, right? So once you move the transport, you move this changes from the golden client or configuration client to testing client, your changes need to be tested by yourself, right? Which is called
Correct.
unit test,
Unit testing.
right? So unit test is nothing but the testing done by us as in the sense consultants
Consultants.
to test, the configurations which we have done. So now once you're good with unit testing, you need to document that, and you need to transfer your configurations from here to here. Now quality system again, uh, something like this. Okay. Okay, let us continue. So you move the transports from here. All the changes, whatever the configuration you do, when we need to save that in a transport. Okay. So what is a transport? So transport is nothing but it is just a medium to carry your changes from one system to other system. Okay. So you're doing some configuration, all the changes will be stored under one number, which is called a transport number. And based.
Transport and charm are same or what? Like
Okay.
charm also. Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you. So transport, so your changes will be saved under a transport request. Okay. So charm is the tool, okay, to transfer the TRs from one client to other client. Even without charm, we can do it, but there is a process. Companies will use, different tools. But even without charm, we can move the transports. If charm is activated, then that will be a charm process. Okay.
Charm is a tool actually.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So we need, it's an add-on. It's not a standard SAP.
It's not a mandatory. Okay.
Right. It's not mandatory for all the clients. Okay. If there is a small business, where they want only SAP, so they don't need a charm process to move the transports. They'll simply request the basis team. We will request the basis team to, move the transport. So once your unit testing is done, now you're good to go ahead to move your configurations to here. So in this client, let's say this is 001.
Okay.
And this is and this is 002. So in this client, your configuration transactions will be enabled. But the your configuration transaction codes will be enabled. Here, your configuration transactions will be disabled. You cannot do any transactions here. You can only do configurations here. Even in the quality system, when you transport the configurations to quality system, your
configuration won't be
your configurations related transactions will be disabled. Here you only need to create only master data and
transaction data.
Even here the same. Okay. Even the testing client, it's only master data and transaction data. So now again, you do one round of testing because you don't know. Sometimes there will be an issue transporting the TRs to quality. So you do one round of testing and you will inform the business that, okay, go ahead and test the system.
UAT.
That is called user acceptance testing. UT is called unit test. This is called user acceptance testing. Okay. Now they will test the system, and once they sign off, all the transports will be copied to the production system. Okay. Again, a TR moment, and you create or upload master data, or business will carry out. If there are, thousands and thousands of master data to be created, then they will ask a consultant help to, create the master data, or they'll create it on their own. So your role here is master data creation only.
Okay.
So do remember, you should not post anything, any transactional data. It's
That
only
is not
master
good.
data.
Yeah.
So this is the landscape we call. Sometimes what happens, there will be some clients where they say, okay, I want a pre-production system, which is nothing but, this is also a quality system. But
Quality only.
every time,
Exact copy of
yes,
production.
yes, copy of production.
And sandbox is also there sometimes.
True. So sandbox is actually just like a test system.
POC.
So this sandbox is just a play area. This is not linked to any of this box or systems. You created you create some change here, you can move this to this, you can move this to this, you can move this to this, but you create some changes here, it will remain here, because this sandbox will not have any connection to any system.
Correct.
It is just a play area.
Hmm.
So it's not that every organization will follow the same. Okay, they might not have the sandbox, they might not have the pre-production, they might they might have multiple, here I said quality only one.
And sometimes each client will have multiple projects going on. So some environments would be applicable to some projects, and some environments won't be applicable to the those other projects, like that. Also
Right.
there.
Right. So it completely depends on the organization, how they want to have their system landscape. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you will be, as a consultant, you will be informed by the project management, what is the system landscape, what are the do's and don'ts. You can, okay. So all in all, development, quality, production is standard. You'll see in all the systems, and configuration client, testing client, quality client, production are, your role is the same. You might have any landscape, but for this three landscape, your role is the same. It will not change. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the system landscape. So how do you, once you get an implementation project, okay, there will be different phases. You will not directly jump and do the configuration, right?
Yes.
You need to know what configuration you need to do. For that, you need to discuss with the business, right?
Correct.
So we'll have, okay, we are talking about the implementation project now. Okay. So we will see, we'll have multiple phases, or, stages of the project. So
Yeah.
everyone will not get a chance to do end-to-end implementation. Initially they'll start with a support project, multiple support projects, then, a shadow resource for a primary resource, an implementation project, and couple of implementation projects. Then you will be given an implementation project. So to do an implementation project, you need to know certain things which are very, very important. Even if you are going for an interview, they'll first ask how many implementation projects you did.
Correct.
You do 100 support projects, but you say, I don't have an implementation experience. The chances of recruiting you will be very, very less.
Less.
Unless until, they need a consultant very badly, then you will get placed. But you do 100 support projects, but doing a one implementation project will have a huge impact. You'll know what is implementation, what you do, okay, how that affects your current system. So implementation is a must. And now in the market, if you see, people are organizations are looking for at least more than 2 end-to-end implementations in S/4HANA. So market is getting tough day by day, as well as the openings are very good for PP and QM. If you go
Yeah.
and see, any Naukri or any other, place,
Yeah, I mean, even if you're not modifying your CV in
you'll get, yeah,
receive calls now, even now, like it's been 3 years I've changed the company, still I get calls.
yeah, there is a huge uh, demand for PP and QM, especially. Uh, you know, uh, I'm seeing this for many years. There is no uh, point where there is no calls or the
Hmm.
graph is going down in the recruitment for PP. No, it is always high, and now you know market needs SAP PP and QM consultants more. You know,
Hmm.
so they are ready to pay you how much you demand.
Actually, but if you
Mhm.
check in any organization, number of PP people would be less only, like as compared to MM or SD or FICO.
Yes,
Uh,
yes,
Number of people and projects are also like, say if it's a sales dependent project, mostly it's sales dependent only. So if it is like that, then PP would be like one or two professionals, rest would be from SD and MM also, medium level it would be there. So I've seen like that. And sometimes design rollout projects, especially design, when we are designing or some sort of at the design phase itself, it happens that maybe PP is sidelined also. Like they don't want to affect the PP process, any change. They don't want to bring in any new changes to the PP process. So their design would be somehow as if the PP should not get changed, like that in case
yeah,
of rollout projects.
correct, correct.
So that, like, PP is important, it is there, but from scratch or doing from scratch, that opportunity is very minimal nowadays.
True, true, true. So it as I said, it all depends on the project. If there is a PP role, we'll be involved. If there might be situations where there is a complex production process. There are
Hmm.
some projects where the production process is really complex.
Yeah.
There are projects like where production planning is really simple. Okay,
Hmm.
so it depends on the project. We cannot.
So I think you're talking about when it comes to complex, I think it is process industry only. It's very and also one more thing which has happened is because of COVID. Okay, if suppose the client is in US, okay,
Mhm.
so initially we used to have on-site opportunities. We can go and visit the plant and come back. But now because of COVID, they hire somebody from US only to do that part, like assessing their systems, etc., their plant, etc. That is done by somebody in the US only. So for the offshore team, it is always like we are always either some knowledge transfer is to be given, or we are always not. There is an incomplete feeling there. It's not like proper